Hey, it's your girl Carmel Jean-Francois coming to you from the New York City area. I am your health and wellness and fitness and nutrition coach. Lately, speaking a lot on the topic of food and sugar addiction. But even more recently, I jumped on this opportunity to really continue the conversation with menopause in a way that you have not heard before, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm excited. I'm excited because I have a guest here with us tonight, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching this. And this gentleman goes by the name of Ren Jones. He is fitness. He's fitness Jones training. I didn't want to get that wrong. Sorry, Ren, that I had to read it. I should have just memorized it. It's so easy. He is a certified personal trainer, but what's so special about Ren Jones is he calls himself Menopause Informed. I think that's so powerful. It's so powerful. He's Menopause Informed. He has several certifications in working with women that's going through the menopause phase in their lives, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause phases in their lives. You're going to have to excuse me. That's what you get when you get me live. You get all the stutters and all the mistakes, and it's all good. That's part of my charm. It's part of my charm. So with that said, I'm going to bring Ren right up on stage because he's back there waiting to discuss everything that we need to talk about with you this evening. Hello, Ren. Thank you for joining us.
Carmel, I appreciate you extending the opportunity. As always, we joked in the DMs on Instagram. Carmel said, tell everybody why you're interested in participating in this event. And my first answer was because Carmel asked me to, and I just do what she says. And I don't think that's too far from the truth. But
and Ren, when I read that, I blushed. No lie. I was like,
I love it. I love it. But there's an element of truth to that. There are people in our industry that have built such a reputation that you sort of say yes to them when they request your whatever it is that you can provide. And I knew the basis of what you were trying to put together and the reason. And I feel privileged to be asked to be a part of it, truly. So thank you for having me.
Oh, Ren, thank you for saying all that. And I really felt privileged when you accepted, because I know the work that you do. I know the professionalism with which you show up on every platform, and you're so well spoken. And when I tell people, I'm like, I'm having Ren Jones, I said he's brilliant. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I feel that's exactly how I genuinely, authentically feel about you and your work and what you put forth. There's nothing but quality here. Nothing but quality. And so when you accepted to be part of this, I'm like, I qualify to be in his space. Oh, man. So that was good. So Ren, we're talking menopause. We're talking menopause. We're talking menopause in a way I feel that has not been spoken before. Quite recently, I really dived into a lot of the studies, a lot of the conversations, the books that I've been reading, and the books are written by very brilliant white people. And I've heard a few of us speak about it. And I take intelligent information, I take logical information, I take studies, I take research, however way it comes. And I appreciate that it's there. I really, truly, truly do. Don't get me wrong. However, yes. I feel like there is a space for us. And like they say, if you're not invited to the table, make your own table. Well, yes. I don't necessarily want to make my own table, but I want to pull up a chair, and I want to give you a chair and all of our panelists a chair right onto the table so we can add our 2 cents into the conversation about menopause, which is definitely something that I feel like we're now just breaking out and speaking about it in a way that's not making a joke out of it. And it's in a way that's not hush hush, don't like.
Absolutely.
So it's out in the open, perimenopause, menopause. Did you want to add to that?
I do, because one of the things that you just mentioned about the lack of BIPOC participation, Black, Indigenous, people of color participation as widely in this subject as we may see from other sources, is when you track back to the history of gynecology. H. Marion Sims, often called the godfather of gynecology, and how he was ruthless in the experimentation on Black and brown female bodies post Reconstruction after after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, and the continuing gap in healthcare for Black women specifically. We've heard the stories of Serena Williams nearly losing her life. We've just seen an influencer recently who lost her life due to inappropriate misdiagnosis or just negligence of Black and brown women's bodies. This conversation does need to be somewhat escalated in the space of the BIPOC community. So I am not a person who prides himself on exclusion of any kind. However, there are certain conversations that can only be had in the context of this population of women that need to be had. So that's my 2 cents. I'm a back up now.
So well said. Thank you. And thank you for taking your time to articulate that in that way. Yeah. And I feel like diagnoses and illnesses and conditions, they really do affect Black people in a different way. People of different ethnicities, don't get me wrong. Everything affects everybody in a different way. Yes. So conversation for each group of people should be had separately, and then we can all come together and compare notes and see what is the common denominators and take it from there, right?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
But I want to take it back to who you are. Could you tell folks who you are? So folks, like I said, Ren Jones, Menopause Informed, but he has several certifications. He is a health and fitness specialist, menopause Informed health and fitness specialist. He is a certified menopause coaching specialist. I mean, he has credentials up the wazoo, as they say. It's endless. And I feel that just lends proof to the fact that he's an enthusiast. Yeah. And this is your craft, this is your skill, this is your passion, this is what you love to do. It's clear. It's clear. Nobody's going to get that many certifications and get into the literature and get into the studies just because they have nothing else to do. Right. So I want you to tell folks who you are and how you came here. Yeah. How you got to this space.
So the impetus for me for being a coach, and I started coaching at 40 years old. I changed my career at technically my 39th year of life, and I turned 40 a month after I got certified as a personal trainer. But that was 2 months after I lost my mother to cardiovascular conditions, right? Which is a big part of the menopause journey, is an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. But prior to that, I lost my older sister. After both of those, I lost my younger sister. Before that, I lost my brother. So my entry into fitness was really through loss and the desire to just do something about it. I tripped and stumbled into working specifically with women. Something about the way that I expressed the information, it was attracting more women viewers to my social media. And I figured out quickly that if I was going to work in this space exclusively with women, I needed to do my due diligence to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Number one, there's enough predatory behavior in our business when it comes to women, right? Shrink this, tone that. Here's some pink weights, use these. Here's a pink protein bottle shaker, use this, right? Shrink it and pink it has been the mainstay of the conversation from the wellness community to women. Let's make everything as cute as possible, but please, by all means, shrink away because we don't want you taking up too much space. Because I was raised in a house where my grandmother, mother, and older sister lived. I was raised in an environment. I tell people I'm sort of like Superman. You know, he was raised on a different planet and that's where his strength comes from when he gets to
Yes.
hurt. That's kind of how I grew up, right? I was raised with three very strong, intelligent, opinionated Black women, and that gave me superpowers that most mortal men don't have in communication,
I
in
love it.
knowing when to talk and when to shut up, to be perfectly honest with you. I learned that
Thanks,
early.
Mom. Thanks, sis.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. God rest your souls. Thank you. So it was important to me to be as qualified as I possibly could if I was going to be in this space. I was challenged early because of some language that I would use that would be incorrect, insensitive. I had blind spots, like all people do, whether you have blind spots in terms of racism or you have blind spots in terms of sexism or misogyny or any of those that patriarchal tendencies. So I had to learn. And once I got corrected early, I knew that I was going to learn quickly. So for me, it's certified personal trainer. I'm a corrective exercise specialist, which means I deal with injuries and ailments. Certified nutrition coach, level 1 and level 2, which is considered sort of a master level nutrition coach. I went back to get a certification specifically for coaching women and understanding the nuances of not only my language, but how to interpret empathetically the information that I was being given. And then I went and got 3 separate certifications for menopause. One is through Dr. Stacy Sims, who's sort of an expert in menopause and athleticism for women. One through an organization called MedFit, that's Dr. Carla D. I can't pronounce her last name. I always mess it up. But Dr. Carla D. And that one's predicated more so on medically based menopause challenges and how training can help with those, physical training and nutrition coaching. And then the last one was through the organization Girls Gone Strong. And I actually appear in that certification course. So I was asked to be a part of the course. I've got a small bit roll in video on that course. So I can say for certain that I'm the only man that appears in any of those 3 courses, and probably one of the few men that's been certified through each of those 3. And I try to bring that expertise into the table in a way that's easily digestible, empathetic, and more compassionate than corrective is what I would probably try to say. Because real talk, Carmel, I cannot live this experience. Like I'll never go through menopause. So I have what I call a seesaw of empathy. And that seesaw for me means that if my experience is way down here, then my empathy for that experience need to be way up here. If I can't go through it, I need to be highly empathetic to that situation and deploy just as much intelligence as I do empathy in the context of whatever that thing is. So that's all about me, y'all. I hope I didn't talk too long.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm curious, do women seek out your expertise and your guidance and because you're a man and that you might and that they trust that you'll be empathetic on a certain level that a woman might be too rough?
It could be the case. Now, what I found in it, first of all, in terms of being a coach, generally speaking, who works with women, some women just prefer it. They just prefer to hire a guy. I don't know why that is. And obviously I don't fight it. It's lucrative for me as a coach. But I understand that sometimes there could be intimidation working with another woman, right? If you're a woman and maybe the woman coach is younger, or maybe you perceive her to be more fit. I don't judge people's bodies. That's not my business. But maybe that's your perception. So I understand that everybody comes from a different place when they're seeking out coaching. In the context of menopause, what I found is I'm forced to be so well educated because I'm already outside of a space that I exist in. So I don't have the room to be complacent with the information that I consume. I can't just say, oh yeah, me too. Oh, I felt that before. Oh, I completely understand. Let me tell you what happened when my hot flushes or flashes, if you prefer older term, when my hot flashes started. So I can't connect on the level of of experience, right? I don't have experience to connect with these women. And I think because of that, it forces me to be as well versed as possible within my scope of practice as a
Of course.
fitness and nutrition trainer. And I think that once you deploy a certain amount of expertise, so you help a certain amount of people, you gain a certain amount of trust, I think it catches fire. And that's what I feel like has happened for me over the course of the last probably 18 months, just being in places, and again, knowing when to not speak and having something to say that's helpful when it is my turn. You know how this business goes, Carmel. Everything we do is based on reputation, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's our best asset. So I just want to be consistent. And what I found is in interacting with these women, I've now got, I'm more likely to interact with a woman who comes to my space or asks me to work with them that has a little bit more implicit trust in what my ability is going to be like. And I think that's my story, and I'm sticking to that one.
Okay. No, I really appreciate that. I feel like seeing you in this space comforts me simply because I know that you will be bringing a certain amount of knowledge and eye-opening awareness to your peers, your male peers.
Yes.
And it will only spread. So where we'll get a group of men who really don't understand what their women, female partners are going through.
Yes.
And now seeing you in the space, be like, yo, if dude could,
right.
like if he could be in this space and guide and coach and teach, like I can actually embody some type of empathy.
100%.
Yeah. And when I asked you why you wanted to be a part of this too, you said it's important for men to be a part of this conversation. And I agree 158%.
Without centering themselves in the conversation.
Centering themselves.
Because oftentimes, if men are a part of a conversation that does not specifically concern them, unfortunately, we will choose to center ourselves in it. Oh, let me tell you what my wife went through, because, and it was so hard dealing with, like, that's not the point here, bruh. Like, sit back, join the conversation, but keep it properly centered on the population that needs the information. So that was important for me. I apologize for interrupting you, Carmel.
I'm glad you did, because that was the most important part of what you said without centering yourself. And I remember reading that and saying, woo, yes. So Ren, you I know, I hope you understand why I'm so excited to have you on this panel for the Menopause Mystique. The Menopause Mystique, I was inspired through a conversation with a friend to bring some of the people that I know, draw them in so we can talk about this. I am a woman. I'm going to be 50 this year. And so I'm clearly on my way into this menopause journey. He's like, come on, I know you just hit 50. When was your birthday, Ren?
I beat you in April 9th with my 50th.
Happy belated.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm holding the door open for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to slide right through. I'm going to be like, 50 never looked so good.
Come on in, Carmel.
I'm coming. You have to wait till August. I mean, July. You have to wait till July, but I'm coming. I'm on my way.
I can wait.
Thank you. So on May 15th, Sunday, sorry, y'all, scratch that. Sunday, May 19th at 2 p.m., 5 panelists and myself were getting together to have this very important conversation. Ren will be a part of it, not the center of it.
Right, that's right.
Yes. But he's bringing all his expertise, his empathy, his compassion, and his knowledge and skills. And he's bringing that to the table. And we are so thoroughly excited to have him there. Ren, thank you for taking some time out to just let the people know who you are and what you have to offer. And I know, like, there's no doubt in my mind that everybody's going to be sitting at the edge of their seats waiting to hear what else comes out of your mouth, because everything that comes out are golden.
Stop it.
There's so much love here, folks. There's so much love. And if you have the opportunity, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put your information, Ren, in the notes, in the description, because if you don't know Ren and you don't really care about anything else, jump on his IG. It's entertaining. There's so much fresh truth in it, in a fun, sarcastic way.
Yes.
And you know just how to put your thoughts together where it's kind of shocking, but not offensive.
That's
but
right.
At the same time, you kind of give everybody that little uppercut, like, yeah, I just said that.
gotta hit you a little bit. I meant exactly what I said. I meant exactly.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah. But it's all about the truth and honesty, and even the perception of truth, right? Mm-hmm. What we think is the truth. Yes. And I love how you speak to these truths, how women come to the table and, oh, I want to look like my 20-year-old self. And Ren's like,
yeah.
But you're not 20. Yeah. So your Instagram page is amazing. I always have a good time when I'm on there. I get a chuckle. I always send out the fire emojis and the laugh emojis. You got to comment. He's got some merch. He's got that really cool shirt. And I'm like, I'm hoping to snag myself one at some point.
I'll hook you up. I got one in the box for you right here.
Thank you. Yeah. And so it's all good stuff. Ren, you are, I see you all the time on Instagram and on Facebook. So you have do you have a Monday night segment on Facebook and Instagram at the same time?
Yeah, I do all of them. All of them. Gotta get the word out, Carmel.
Gotta get the word out. It's true. You're right. And the only way to do that is to be showing up on all the platforms. And Ren is like, hey, Instagram, got you too, Facebook.
Yep.
Hey, IG, like you got them all. And I'm like, look at him go.
TikTok, amazing. All of them.
All of them. I love it. So Ren is everywhere, and I'm going to be posting it in the description, I promise, along with the information about the Menopause Mystique and where you can catch us. This is a paid event because we are providing so much value, again, in a way that has not been given before. So we're very, very proud of that. And again, Ren, I'm going to let you go for the evening. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And that's it, I think. Say bye to my peoples.
I'll see y'all, people.
All right, now, everybody, check y'all later. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, and we are out.